Hi Libra Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your August 2022 horoscope. My name is Cailin and today I'm going to be covering the major transits for the month ahead using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I recommend that if you're only going to watch one horoscope this month, that it be for your ascendant sign, otherwise known as your rising sign. And that is because it will be the most accurate for you overall, generally speaking. Having said that, if you're a Libra sun, this horoscope will pertain to your life goals and your career, whereas you Moon in Libra people will find that this horoscope resonates more for you with respect to your relationships, your family life, as well as your property and living circumstances. So let's begin with the first transit for the month. On the 1st/2nd of August, depending where you live in the world, Mars will form a conjunction with Uranus in your 8th house, and this will be in Taurus at 8 degrees. Now, I did cover the Uranus and North Node conjunction on the 31st of July, which in my July horoscopes, which was on the 31st, and that involved Mars as well. But at that point, Mars was at 17 degrees, whereas now Mars will be forming its exact conjunction with Uranus on the 1st of the month. So with this taking place in your 8th house, this can see you having a sudden download of information when it comes to how you can liberate yourself from a certain fear or overcome an addiction. The 8th house is very much connected to healing and also anything which is taboo in nature or that is hidden and secretive. So this can be an area that you normally wouldn't like to think about or discuss, but this conjunction here in your 8th house can see you wanting to dig beneath the surface to understand your motivations at a deeper and psychological level. Now, with Uranus ruling over your 5th house, which is connected to owning your own business, this can see you having a sudden idea or download of information which is connected to either starting a new business or expanding your current business. Now, on a different level, this can see you developing something new or innovating something new within the realm of what the 8th house rules over, which is the stock market, mutual resources. It is a money house in astrology, and also the 8th house is connected to the occult. So things like astrology, tarot, numerology, and Reiki healing. Now, this can see you wanting to develop a new app or perhaps write a blog or create content, or maybe even create a new website which is focused on those things or centered around those things. Now, on a different note, this conjunction in your 8th house can bring about some kind of unexpected turn of events. And that is because Mars and Uranus are both connected to accidents, and Uranus and the 8th house are both connected to unpredictable things happening. So there may be a sudden reversal or something unexpected could happen around the first couple days of the month, especially with respect to any intimate relationship that you might have with another person, your mutual resources that you have with another person, as well as something to do with hidden information. Okay, so it doesn't need to be negative. It can be either or. And for some of you, this could be starting up a new sexual relationship out of nowhere, or you could decide to pursue mutual resources with another person. So maybe you're wanting to receive child support from an ex who is the parent of your child, or alimony money, or there could be something which crops up with respect to taxes. So I would highly recommend that you go back and watch my July horoscope right at the end for the last 5 or 10 minutes, because I will go into explicit detail as to how the Uranus North Node and Mars conjunction will have impacted you, and this will continue to impact you over the course of August. So on the 4th of August, Mercury is going to enter the sign of Virgo, which means it will be transiting your 12th house. Normally, I don't mention Mercury transits with respect to Mercury just changing signs, and that is because they come about so quickly. Mercury only spends about 3 weeks in a sign. Nevertheless, Mercury is exalted in the sign of Virgo, and it rules over Virgo as well. So with saying that, this is an important transit for communications, but not in the way that you would ordinarily think. And that is because Mercury is in the 12th house, and the 12th house is connected to the other side. It's connected to secret information. It is a very dreamy house as well as a spiritual house. So you could be receiving messages or communications in your dreams through meditation. They could be conveyed to you in some sort of reading, which is maybe like a tarot reading or an astrology reading or a psychic reading. So this could see you receiving communications potentially from a loved one who is on the other side or someone who's on your spiritual team, so to speak. And this also would be an amazing time for you to start keeping a dream journal. Okay, even if it's just for this 3 week period of time from the 4th of August till the 25th of August, you could unravel certain signs that you've been receiving from the other side, or you could make sense of a recurring dream that you've had for a really long time. And, maybe you just have this sense that the universe is trying to communicate a message to you and you haven't been able to really understand what that is. And now you can have a breakthrough during this period of time. Now, on a different note, this is a time where you could be having a lot of success with your creative writing or with writing poetry. Both are ruled by the 12th house, and Mercury is the planet of communications and writing. So, on a different note, maybe you're going to start a new artistic project. And I'm saying this because the 12th house is very much connected to the arts, and also it's connected to photography and filmography. So maybe you'll be having a lot of success in that department. Now, on the 11th of August, Venus is going to enter the sign of Leo, which means it will be transiting your 11th house, and it will be in your 11th house until the 5th of September. So wherever Venus goes, this is where we can be enjoying whatever that house rules over. So Venus is a money house the 11th house is a money house in astrology, and it also rules over collaborations, friendships, your wider network. And essentially, Venus is a planet which represents relationships as well as finances and money. So, we're sort of combining the themes of the 11th house and what Venus rules over anyway, and the two go hand in hand. So, this is an amazing time for making new friends, making new connections, and also basically agreeing to collaborate with another person. So, I would definitely be taking up any opportunity that comes your way during this period of time, which once again is the 11th of August through till the 5th of September, because it could lead you to making new friends or making someone's acquaintance. Even if they don't become a friend, this could be expanding your network further. And also, because Venus is your ruling planet, wherever Venus goes, whatever Venus is doing, this represents you and your actions. So, what goes around comes around. I would be taking this opportunity to help connect other people in your network. If you've got a friend who's looking for a job and you have another friend who is looking to hire someone and there's overlap in that industry that they both work in, by all means, go ahead and make that connection. And, this could not just help your two friends, but this could, swing back around and assist you in the future going forwards. So it's always good to give back, of course. And for many of you, you'll be seeing a lot of progress with a long-term project or goal that you have. And, this could be connected to a community project. This could be related to things that Venus rules over. So, fashion, design, the arts, architecture, the world of food as well. So, and the five senses in general, and music. So, basically, you could make a lot of headway, I should say, within those areas, or you could be working on a project which is connected to finances, cryptocurrencies, the stock market, or marketplaces in general. Now, you may be invited to join a new group or community because the 11th house rules over groups and communities. And with Venus being your ruling planet, you may have an opportunity to create your own community. So, if that is something that's been on your mind for a long time, now would be the time to do it. And on a different note, some of you may receive some sort of benefit as a result of being part of a certain group or community. And of course, with the 11th house being a money house, you could receive prize money for something. You could receive financial support from a group or a community, or from a friend, or from your social media platform. So that's another thing. The 11th house is connected to your social media platform. So this is a great time to roll out new content, to initiate new collaboration opportunities, and to reach out to people that you would like to work with, or that you would like to have as a potential client. So, just building on that transit, on the 18th of August, Venus in Leo in your 11th house is going to make a trine to Jupiter in Aries at 8 degrees in your 7th house, and Jupiter will be retrograde as well. So, again, this involves the idea of collaborating with another individual, making new friends, and expanding your network. And because Jupiter is in your 7th house, and the 7th house rules over your personal one-to-one connections, and it's making an aspect to Venus, which is your ruling planet, so in effect it represents you. This indicates that you can receive assistance or help from someone who is represented by Jupiter. So this person could be a teacher, they could be a coach, they could be someone who has a specialized area of knowledge. This person may want to invest in your business or in your services, and you could be engaging their services as a coach or a mentor, or someone who can help you. Now, because Venus is the lesser benefic in astrology and Jupiter is the greater benefic, and they're making a sorry, there's this new cat that's been hanging around outside. It's distracting me, but I love cats. Nevertheless, because Venus and Jupiter are two very generous planets that are associated with good fortune, wealth, abundance, and money, and they're making a trine aspect. This represents that either the help or assistance that you receive from another person could be free, it could be a generous donation that this person is making, or they could just be sharing their knowledge and expertise with you at a discounted rate, or out of the goodness of their heart. On a different note, maybe the services that you invested in are now, like, you're seeing a return on your investment. You're seeing the money that you've spent come through with the goods, and maybe this is allowing you to expand your reach further in terms of your social media audience, or your wider network, or take your goals and projects further than you thought was possible. So, on a different note, there could be someone who is helping you to spread the word about your business, or a cause that you are championing, especially if this is to do with humanitarian issues and social justice issues. And also, you could be engaging in group classes or group training sessions. And I'm saying this because the 11th house rules over groups and communities, and maybe you're the one who could be teaching other people, whether that's in a one-to-one format or in a group environment. So we are blending the groups or group mentality or groups in general, which is represented by the 11th house, with the individual, which is represented by the 7th house. Nonetheless, both the 7th and the 11th houses in astrology are business houses. So this can see you agreeing to collaborate with another person. Maybe you're signing on with a new contract with another person. You could be working with someone who is from a different cultural background, or this could be like an international client relationship. And you could certainly be seeing more business. For those of you who own your own business, doing more deals, making more sales, expanding your clientele list, and also because Venus is a planet which rules over relationships, and Jupiter is in your 7th house of relationships. This could see you entering into a romantic relationship with someone, and this person could be someone that you're friends with. They could be someone who is in a group or a community that you're part of, or it could be like someone in your wider network. So, a friend of a friend. And because Jupiter is retrograde during this trine, it might be that whatever is taking place around this point in time, you already have knowledge of this, or you've already sought it out, or maybe you've already discussed it before. And lastly, with this trine, Jupiter is going to hit the same degree. So it's going to hit 8 degrees again on the 11th of February in 2023. So what is taking place around, let's say, the 18th of August, may somehow be connected to things that are taking place in February in 2023. And a hypothetical example of that could be that maybe you're forming a new connection, friendship, business partnership around this point in time, and you work on a project together, but it's not ready to be launched until, let's say, February 2023, random example. So on the 20th of August, Mars is going to enter the sign of Gemini, which means it will be transiting your 9th house. Mars is going to spend 7 months in Gemini in your 9th house. And the reason it's spending so long in your 9th house is because Mars will have a retrograde period from the end of October through till the 12th of January. So whatever you initiate between the 20th of August and the end of October, while Mars is direct in your 9th house in Gemini, you may be working really hard on this project or, with respect to this area of your life during that 10-week period. So the 9th house rules over education, higher learning, travel, adventures, your belief systems, as well as the law and publishing. So those, and import and export. Okay, so those are just a few areas that may be of extreme importance and significance to you during the next 7 months. And, Mars is about pioneering, exploration, trying something you haven't tried before, being bold, being courageous, and also being the one to pursue something. Okay, so it's a very proactive planet, whereas Venus is more of a receptive planet, just to give you the distinction. So you could be enrolling in a new college, university course, and also just in terms of what this could pertain to, I'm looking at what Mars rules over in your chart. So Mars rules over the 2nd house as well as the 7th house. So this could be connected to the law, social justice issues, business. So maybe you're attending business school. Maybe you're going to be learning more about finances. Maybe you'll be doing a Master of Business. On a different note, this could also be connected to food, like learning about food or culinary school, as well as languages. The 9th house is connected to languages, and Mars ruling over the 7th house is also an international house. So some of you may just be engaging the services of a private tutor or a teacher, as indicated by Mars ruling over the seventh house and the ninth house being connected to learning. And on a different note, the ninth house is connected to travel and culture. So you could be learning about other cultures. You could be going on some sort of international trip, and this could be an extended trip, or perhaps you're not going to be able to go on the trip until after Mars has been retrograde and gone back to being direct. So maybe this is putting plans in motion for, let's say, the first quarter of 2023. And for some of you, you could be pursuing a visa. Now, I'm inclined to say visa rather than citizenship, and that is because your fourth house ruler is not necessarily involved in this particular transit. And Mars ruling over the seventh house is where, and being in the ninth house, which is connected to international travel, is where I get the idea of visas coming into play. Now, on a different note, with the ninth house ruling over your beliefs of all kinds, and with Mars being a planet which wants to take action and cut things out and do things differently, some of you may be pursuing a spiritual or religious path which is different from what you grew up with. Maybe you're trying to decondition certain programming when it comes to your beliefs, whether these are religious, spiritual, political, or just your idea of how the world works. So you could be trying to unlearn something, deprogram, decondition, and search for your own personal truth. Now, this could also see you pursuing a publishing contract, or you may be looking at expanding your business. So, getting involved in import and export, especially because Mars rules over your seventh house, which is a business house. So that represents the exchange of services and goods. And it also rules over your second house, which would be your products, possessions, valuables, things that you're trying to sell. And the ninth house is connected to the law. And because Mars is a very antagonistic planet, and it rules over your seventh house, you could be bringing legal proceedings against someone. Worst case scenario is that they may be brought against you, but you could be countersuing. Just remember, Libra, that this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Now, on the 24th of August, sorry, let me just say one last thing. With that whole segment on Mars in Gemini, those topics, whether that's one or more, will basically be strung out for that 7-month period. So it's not like all of that is going to happen in a day or in a week. It's like you initiate the beginnings of that new chapter from the 20th of August through till maybe the end of October. Then you're working really hard on it between the end of October and mid-January while Mars is retrograde. And then you're sort of like coming out the other side of that between January and the end of March, at which point Mars will enter Cancer. I hope that's clear. Now, on the 24th of August, Uranus is going to station retrograde in Taurus in your 8th house at 18 degrees. So first of all, Uranus spends about 5.5 months being retrograde every year. So it's not necessarily a big deal, but I do like to mention when planets station direct and when they station retrograde, because on that date, sometimes we can have a real awareness or see the physical results of that planet changing motion or direction. So with this 18th degree in Taurus being activated once again for the third time since the end of July, this can see you reviewing and reflecting upon how you can enact the changes that you want to see with respect to your mutual resources, with respect to a healing journey that you're going on, or with respect to overcoming certain fears or addictions. The conjunction between Uranus and the North Node, and to an extent Mars, that we saw on the 31st of July, plus the Mars and Uranus conjunction on the 1st of August, will be playing a part in what happens during this retrograde motion. So it is worth watching my segments on these and then connecting the dots to see what you'll be working on and fleshing out over the course of the next 5.5 months. For some of you, you may want to understand the stock market better. You may want to have a better understanding of your mutual resources with another person, whether this is with a business partner or whether this is with your spouse or your significant other. Maybe you're going to be learning astrology at a much, much deeper and more complex level. Maybe you're going to be integrating knowledge that you already have on astrology or some area of the occult, which is very complex. And by the time you get to the end of January in 2023, you might have mastered this area of the occult world and know how to use that to advance your own needs, especially because Uranus rules over the 5th house. So I really see your ability to derive joy, to expand your business, and even to work on potential issues surrounding fertility being connected to what takes place over the course of the next 5.5 months. In any case, this is a time, excuse me, this is a time, gosh, right at the end. This is a time where you can be experimenting in the area of healing yourself, energy work, your understanding of psychology, your understanding of the stock market, like I mentioned earlier. And you may have had sudden downloads of information which are connected to areas that you want to research really deeply. And then you're just going to be following your nose with that respect over the course of the next 5.5 months. And so Libra, I hope you enjoyed this horoscope. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Enjoy your month ahead, Libra, and I will see you guys in September when it is going to be your season next month.